Okay, so here we are with the Rubicon Models T55 and T55A main battle tank. It's 56 scale, as all Rubicon kits, and it's the Soviet T55 main battle tank. So, what it tells us straight away on the front is what an awesome looking vehicle. Great box art. This one is a Vietnam one. Obviously, we can see the tropical terrain, etc., and the North Vietnamese Army markings on it. So, and that's exactly what I'm going to be building. So, it also tells us on the front of the box that we can build the T55 or T55A early production. Hatches can be posed open or closed. The driver's hatch has an armoured windshield option. We've got all-round detailed RMSH track links, and it's got a Soviet crew with post-World War II or Cold War headgear. So, lots and lots of options straight away. So the box itself, lovely box art. We turn to the side and we've got the T55 there, telling us what it is with the hammer and sickle. Then we have the other side with the T55 again, lovely looking box. And then on the other side we know it's kit number 280121 and it's T55 from Rubicon. On the back we have the decal sheet there, so there's lots of options there, and then we have the description of the T55 itself, and then we have the two at the top there, so we have the T55 and T55A and the colours that we need. So let's have a look inside the box, have a look at the sprues and see what we've got. So guys, first up, the instructions. So we've got a copy of the box art on the front, telling us to read this first, don't glue it to your face, etc, etc, and then the two sort of outline drawings of T55 and T55A early production. So typical Rubicon is booklet style. So straight away, step one. So that's if you want to add your Soviet crew or tank commander. Then we're going to put the lower hull together, road wheels and sprockets, the underside of the hull with an escape hatch there, which is quite a nice detail. And then we're attaching the wheels to the lower hull. Tracks, dead simple on Rubicon kits. So we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces each side for the tracks. And then it's telling us left and right are different, so don't get them mixed up. And the wheels and the track links have notches, so we get them in the right place essentially, and they won't move. Built a few of these kits now, and they go together really well. It's such a good design, the way they do the tracks, etc. at this scale. So if we want to build the T55, we're going to continue to 7A. If we want to build the T55A, we're going to go to step 8A. So turn over the page, and we're moving on to 7A for the T55, and we're starting on the upper hull. So we've got to just drill some holes where it marks them here, and then we're moving on, adding all the fuel tanks, etc. to the upper hull. And then for the T55 again, we're just adding these extra panels, etc. Yeah, it looks dead simple, typical Rubicon, very nice. Then moving on to the gun turret for the T55. Tells us to cut off the handle here once it's assembled, and saying do not glue, obviously for the mantlet and the barrel, etc., so we can move it up and down, whether you choose to do that or not. And yeah, and just little options that we have within the kit for various different configurations. Then we're moving on to 7G, which is essentially attaching the upper hull, telling us not to glue the turret so we can move the turret around, and then on to final assembly. And for the T55, we're going to go straight to step 9. So we're adding the external fuel drums, etc. If we're building the T55A, we're going to step 8A instead of 7A. Again, putting the holes in, adding all the bits to the upper hull, building the turret, and then adding all the bits to the turret, and again final assembly for the T55A. Tank commander is optional. I won't be using the tank commander in this one because I'm building a Vietnamese army version, and that's a Soviet commander, so we'll have the hatches closed. And then a little bit of description again about the T55, which is something Rubicon do in their instructions, which is very, very nice. Then we have the sprue maps here, and then just a little bit of sort of a timeline of the development of the T54, T55, and then nice image there of the box art again in Vietnamese markings, which is the version I shall be doing. And then on the back there we have the other Vietnam range or Vietnam range kits that have been released, and I'll be doing these as part of the video series. So obviously there we've got the T54, T55A, we've got the BTR-60, we've got the Huey, we've got the light howitzer, Viet Cong fighters, MVA, North Vietnamese Army troops, US Marines, and US Army. So go and check out Rubicon Models, have a look at these kits, they're awesome. And as the video series goes on, we'll see more and more of them. So next up, decal sheet. Rubicon decals, fantastic. I'm going to leave them in the packet. So we've got all the different nations, all the different markings that you could use, and then all these various numbers so you can sort of tailor it. We've got some Arabic here as well, which is very nice. Yeah, and lovely decals. They are good decals, Rubicon, I must say. So moving on to the sprues. So first one, the big one, is this one. So here we have lower and upper hull, side skirts, or sides of the lower hull rather, sprockets and drive wheels, fuel tanks, base of the turret, the commander himself. So if we're looking on the turret here, you can see, hopefully, we do have some cast detail moulded in, which is really nice to see. Fuel tanks are very well detailed, very nice indeed. These are going to be your ore drums or fuel drums or whatever they decided to put in at the time. British Army generally filled them with beer and snacks. We've got a few tart rolls, the commander himself. If I turn that round, so you've got two head options. You've got sort of Cold War, there we go, and sort of Soviet, and they're pretty well detailed, to be fair. As I say, I won't be using him, but it's always good to have in the spares box. Barrel itself, and as you can see, the barrel is slide molded, so it's a one-piece barrel for either, depending which variant you're going to use. So that's nice, very nice detail, typical Rubicon. Then the next sprue. So here we have all the road wheels, the barrels themselves, some more fuel tanks, and the tracks. Tracks are lovely at this scale, absolutely enough detail on those. Once painted and weathered, they'll really pop. Yeah, and what you can see, hopefully, if I do that, is that the sag of the track is actually moulded into the plastic, so you don't have to worry about that. It's already there for you, which is a really nice touch. So that makes life a lot easier because you don't have to worry about doing it. We've got the two different mantlet covers here, depending which version you're doing. We have the Dushka here, which is nice, nicely detailed. Yeah, lovely. I'm looking forward to this one. And then last but not least, the third and final sprue. So we have two different turrets depending which version you're building. All the hatches, plate for the upper hull, two of those depending again which version you're doing. The back we've got the snorkel, I believe that is, depending on which configuration you want it in. Yeah, really nice. And again, on the hull we can see there is some real nice, on the hull, turret rather, real nice sort of detail, sort of rivet detail, etc., which will look really cool when it's done. So yeah, very nice indeed. Can't wait to get cracking with this, to be fair. T55 is an awesome tank, Rubicon's an awesome kit, so yeah, what's not to like? So that is the Rubicon T55 and T55A early production, what you get in the box. There you go and get one, they're awesome.